Welcome, kings and queens. I can barely say it. Listen, have a seat. Today was supposed to be my day off from YouTube. I gave you pretty good content last night, so I was going to take the day off. Have a seat, because this is hot off the press, courtesy of Dana Rose. All day, yes, baby, Dana. Thank you, Dana Rose, for sharing content in the way that you do. I don't know if I'll be able to keep a straight face through this summary, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Pimps up, hoes down. Halloween season is near, and it sounds like Martell Holt is out in these streets pimping and treating. For those of you who are just tuned in, if this is your first time to my channel, I am Queen Shiba. You know what? Listen, forget who I am. Let's get into it. A few weeks ago, Melody Holt came out the box swinging, and she shared a bit of explosive tea regarding the shenanigans of Martell Holt. Some of what she shared was him allegedly out here pimping for treats with a dancer from DC. So apparently, this dancer from DC contacted Melody after she felt like Martell had wronged her, played her for a fool, played all up in her face, right? So she reached out to Melody. What we didn't know, and I'm sure Mel didn't know, is she also reached out to Arion. Let's take a look.
This is not a drill.
In this photo, which has now been deleted from his Instagram, Martell Holt sets the stage, confirming everything Melody said about him being in DC. Listen, this internet is a beast. Be careful what you put out there. Martell, you are one big dummy. Because just like this picture didn't go away after you deleted it, sir, neither will that recording that you shared of your little girl. Off topic real quick, I hope the judge throws the book at him. I really do. All right, so allegedly, Martell Holt got his black behind on a plane. Y'all, please forgive me. I told you I don't know if I can keep it straight. He got his behind on a plane to go meet a woman that he met on the internet. Make it make sense. So it looks like this DeVita woman may have given a friend, let's just say a third party, permission to share and tee her story up, because I believe she plans to come out with an interview sometime soon. So it looks like she wants to get some movement on this, right? Well, we'll cover that a little bit later. So this photo is giving you just some background into how she met Martell. He jumped into her DMs, she responded, and from there, things took off. Okay. In this photo, here she's trying to get information about him, about what he does, being he has the blue check mark next to his name on Instagram. Well, he doesn't give her anything. He plays it a bit coy, like a pimp would, so he's a bit elusive. However, on every side of each story, I believe there's always the truth. I'm just going to keep it real. My instinct is telling me that she may have known who he was, but she played it up as if she didn't. I say that because women, we're not dumb. So let's not pass off that we're dumb, we're naive, we're innocent, and I got taken advantage of. We're clever, we're smart, and ain't no way, DeVita, and I'm not attacking you, but let's just call a thing. Ain't no way you're moving on making travel arrangements without a little investigation. I just don't believe that. I think you knew who he was, but I also think you kept it cute. Well, sometime during the DM exchange, I'm assuming that they exchanged phone numbers and they started to make plans to meet, like people on the internet do, which takes us to the next photo. In this photo, they're talking about her coming to Atlanta. I guess they were supposed to meet up in Atlanta. Apparently, she came to Atlanta and she didn't let Martell know she was in town. To me, again, as a woman, I would probably assume that he really wasn't giving her a lot of communication during this time. I think he was playing with her like narcissists tend to do. Yeah, baby, come on, come to Atlanta, let me know. And then he went cold, okay? So he gave the impression he wasn't interested. So she didn't let him know that she was in town. Now, to me in this photo, when Martell says, I see you forgot about me, I already knew what time it was as a woman. That's a man that's not really serious. He's kind of like, let me know, hit me up when you get to my city. Girl, that means a booty call. I'm just letting you know if you didn't know. And I'm guessing she probably didn't want to give up her goodies so quickly. So she put him on ice while she was in Atlanta. So let's go to the next photo. Here, they're talking about what he does, which I assume he still hasn't been transparent about what he does for a living. So she starts the guessing game. She puts HGTV out there. And it sounds like he went with it for a while. I don't know if he confirmed and or denied it, but I don't think he corrected it. So to me, at this point, she baited him and he bit. Then she came back and called him out on it. And he's basically saying, you said it, I didn't. But he does go on to confirm that he does build homes and he's done so for 12 plus years. Next photo. In this photo, this text exchange, she's buttering him up about him being a hands-on present parent, and bingo. There you have it, folks. So this is what we call the climax in a movie. So throughout this internet exchange, this is the climax. Here's why. The narcissist took the bait. But I want each and every one of you listening, tuned in, to pay close attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please, as we go through the following safety instructions.
She threw a lot out there before she got to this part. Nothing else that she threw out worked. He wasn't giving her much play until she talked about those beautiful kids of melodies. This man is using those kids for an agenda, not only against their mother, but for his personal gain and against other women. Yet some of y'all stay on his Instagram telling him how wonderful of a father he is. Hell, even Ariane was on that talk track when she first started running her mouth. Remember when she came out and wanted everybody to know who she was? Don't believe me? Pull the YouTube tapes. He groomed her to believe he was a hell of a father. Let's go to the next photo. And this is where it all began to go down. And where I mean begin to go down, now we get some movement on this. The pimping and the treating. He got comfortable. He became so comfortable that Davida, this woman, that strange woman he met on the internet, now she's had exposure by way of phone, access to his children, his mother, his quote unquote business partners, production. Ooh, wee. I wonder who in production. I'm going to just leave that there like a cliffhanger. Because I know the only person in production that knew about him and Sheree was Carlos. But let me go. That's just an assumption on my part. Let me digress. But you know what? None of these people are ish. And you know what I mean. And now I really understand why Melody cleaned house with an everything must go attitude. You can't trust these people. He just had Knox. Sugar Mama was 8-9 months, which tells me all of these people have been knowing about Ariane behind Mel's back. This wasn't the first year that they were filming this show when this woman was on the phone with him. What? We're talking last year? Okay. Wow. Because why would he be so comfortable flaunting a strange woman around his professional job, his friends, his kids, his family? Child, this is a nightmare. This is when Davida claims to have learned about the show, because apparently while she was FaceTiming with Martell, her friend put her up on game. I question that though, but I'll move on. In this photo, check this out. Martell goes on and invites this girl to come out to Vegas while he's filming with Melody. Y'all don't remember when they were filming in Vegas when he got into a really big fight and Marcel had to run into the house to pull him off? Like he acted like he wanted to go after Melody. Y'all, this is crazy. Now, if he invited her to come out to film while he was filming, don't you think production knew that? Y'all cannot tell me these people were not trying to ambush Melody and clown her and set her up. But God said no. This is wild. And I'm sure those Scott brothers knew, and the other men were well aware that he was trying to get someone flued in. For whatever reason, this lady said no. Next photo. Now here's where you need to take a seat. He ended up flying to her in DC. Based on previous conversations, it seems like they discussed being intimate and using protection. Okay, so they got into some type of sexy talk. Her primary reason for wanting to be careful was because she has comorbid medical conditions. Feel free to read through the text and feel free to pause the screen to get more details. I'm just giving you like a brief Cliff Note version. For whatever reason, this grown woman allowed Martell Holt to convince her to have unprotected sex. Ma'am, as much as I don't like Martell Holt, we can't put everything on him. Ma'am, you're going to have to take responsibility for this, for that part. That's your body. This one is on you. Not only was it unprotected, y'all. Get the kids out the room. Ask the kids, if there's kids, ask them to cover their ears. Not only was it unprotected, he didn't pull out. You know what that means. Whoa, whoa, whoa. According to her, she went along with it because he and her had talked about becoming the next baby mama. And she thought he would make a good father for her child. At this point, I question her maturity level. You met a man on the internet and you allowed him to have his way with you the first night unprotected. And that's how he rolls, because he said it on the show when he was with the stripper a couple of episodes ago. Remember, he's in Atlanta. He said, "This is my next baby mama number 6." Well, in order for her to get pregnant, you would have to have no intention of using protection. But that's how he rolls, which tells me that Ariane did the same thing, although she tried to lie and say she made him wait 9 months. Girl, stop playing with us. Stop playing with us, Ariane. But let me get back to Davida. Davida, I understand that you wanted a child. But ma'am, your health should come first. Were you not worried about STDs, HIVs? You know what? Never mind. Let's go to the next photo. So the next day he wakes up, he leaves abruptly. Now let me explain something to you here. The psychological aspect. This is when a narcissist rages. He had probably told himself inwardly, having an internal conversation with himself about this girl after he slept with her unprotected. What probably happened, and the way narcissists think and behave, he had probably told himself all sorts of horrible things about you, Davida, and made up his mind that he was disgusted by you. So that's why he left. He wanted his way with you, but he's also punishing you for allowing him to do any old thing to you. Because in a nutshell, he actually thinks you should have standards. And he was probably comparing you to Melody's level of sophistication in some crazy, twisted, weird way. Now, there's a mention of $4,000 in this tax exchange. I'm not going to lie. I don't have an answer for that. I don't have commentary for that. I'm scratching my head on this one. She lost me with that one. I still have questions. Martell doesn't seem like the type that's going to just drop $4,000. So I'm needing to know more about this story. But for whatever reason, he did give it to her. So let's move on. Right here, you can tell he begins to disconnect from her. He's kind of leaving her on read. He leaves her hanging. She's trying to figure out why. At this point, he's playing mind games, telling her to move to Huntsville. So what he's probably doing, he probably wants her to really move to Huntsville, but he had no intention of being with her. He's a narcissist. He's probably still pissed off about that $4,000. So he was probably wanting you to move here. To make a fool of yourself, and he would have never contacted you again. Good thing you did. But she's still not strong because he convinces her to come to Huntsville for a hot romp, and she does. So basically he gets what he wants in an overnight trip. He picks a fight with her after he's done, so she's forced to leave to go back to DC. Wow. All right, so the next 3 photos, I'll just quickly peruse through these. He starts to ignore her. She claims she doesn't know why, so she starts to investigate and reaches out to Arion. How would you even know who Arion was? But anywho, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe you didn't know who he was from jump, but we'll go with that. So she reached out to Arion. At first, Arion didn't respond until there was a mention of unprotected sex, to which Arion basically said, prove it. Now that tells you a lot about Arion. She 10 toes deep in this. You're going to have to prove that Martell did or said something in order for her to even consider. So Davida did. She proved it. Martell called her. He goes off on her for even saying something. During the course of that, she threatens to expose him. But here's something that's very interesting. When Davida started to go to Instagram to expose Martell, guess who asked her for mercy? Little old Miss Coleslaw. The same side who showed Melody no grace, no mercy, and or courtesy. The same side who found it funny that the 4 beautiful children are now in therapy because of her taking their father with her eyes closed. Make it make sense. What are your thoughts?